What is up, everybody? It is me, Video Person 102, and today we'll be reading, maybe, chapters 6 through 12, 7 through 12, 7 through 13, I forgot. We're going to be reading 6 chapters, so, yeah. Oh, man. Virgil ground. Will you give me some food? I chuckled. Why don't we go get something together? I don't want to get up. He whined, pulling a blanket over his head. I shook my head and pulled the blanket off. If I carry you? Fine. He sighed, a small smile appearing on his face. He climbed on my back and I gave him a piggyback ride to the commons. I set him down on the couch, but he didn't let go. Verge, I laughed. You let go now. Shh, I'm sleeping, he said, clearly not trying to sleep. Okay, I started to lay down, slightly crushing Virgil. No, get off, Virgil laughed, gently hitting my back. Okay, I said, sitting up. So what do you want? You, he said, putting me back down and kissing me. To eat, I said after we pulled away. I meant what do you want to eat? I know, he smirked. I laughed. You are an emo nightmare, he gasped in a mock hurt. Thank you. I laughed and kissed his forehead. Now, for what food do you want? Spaghetti. Nay, hey. He giggled. As you wish, I chuckled, getting up. Have fun storming the castle, Virgil responded. I left and started boiling water. 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a time war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Dalkeys say exterminate, Virgil chuckled. 9, 10, 11, 12. The doctor died and silence fell. I trailed off. 12, 11, 10, 9. Now let's travel back. Ro, are you okay? Virgil asked. I sighed. It's just so quiet now. Virgil hugged me from behind. We'll get him back. See, confirmed he's not dead. I know. Here, let me finish cooking, he said, gently taking my hands away. I let him. I sat down at the table. Soon a plate of spaghetti was in front of me. Virgil sat down and rested his hand on my shoulder. I love you, he whispered. I kissed the top of his head. I love you too. We ate in silence. The food was good, amazing, actually, but I didn't want it in my stomach. I'm 150 pounds, underweight by 12 pounds. I promised Patton that I would never be underweight again. But then again, he's not here right now. Ro? Word said, breaking me out of my thoughts. You good? Yes, of course, I smiled. I'm just going to use the bathroom for a moment. Virgil frowned. No, you're not. Not right after a meal. He laced our fingers together. Not again. Verge, you know you could rupture your intestines by forcing yourself to throw up, he said, his voice tight. I looked down at the table, reaching up to touch my throat. I know. You could die from it. Virgil started stammering to a cry. I don't want you to die. Shh. It's okay. I'm not going to die. I assured him, hugging him and petting his hair. He snuffled, his face in my chest. Ro? Hey, Verge, just breathe, okay? I kissed him on the side of his head. Calm down, you're okay. He took a few deep breaths, calming down a little. His eyes drooped closed. He snapped. Suddenly, we're in front of the porch on the wicker swing. Ro, can you sing me something? He asked without opening his eyes. Of course. And then there's the song, and I don't know it, and I'm not going to attempt to sing it. Okay. Virgil was asleep by the time the song ended. His head was resting on my chest. I kissed his hair and shifted closer. I looked out just past the circle of light coming from the Mind Palace. Depression was slowly creeping its way forward, long tendrils twisting themselves into the light, only to dissolve moments later. It was creepy, to say the least. I stood, laying Virgil down, making sure I didn't wake him. He made small noise of disconnect, but remained sleeping. I summoned my sword. I walked up to the dark, looming wall. "Give Patton back," I whispered angrily. It seemed to laugh, pulsing darkly. A light shone in the distance, slowly growing larger, until it was like watching a black and white movie. I fell to my knees in shock. Patton? He was curled up in a ball. His back was facing me. I reached out to him. My hand hit a barrier. I tapped on it, and it echoed like glass. "Patton," I choked out. "Patton, turn around. Patton, it's me, Roman." He didn't move. I closed my eyes. I leaned my head against the barrier. "Roman?" My eyes snapped open. Patton was sitting there, looking at me with wide eyes. Then I noticed he was sitting in water. His arms were covered with scars and cuts. "Patton!" I exclaimed suddenly, waking Virgil. What's... Oh my god!" Virgil stumbled off the swing as fast as he could, almost falling on his face, and ran over, slamming his hands on the barrier. "Dad! Oh my god, where are you? What happened? Are you okay?" he cried. Patton laughed slightly. "Hey, Virg. 4 months and all we get is a hey, Virg. And what's the stupid barrier thing?" Virgil yelled, pounding on the glass-like wall. Hey, calm down," Patton said. "I don't know what's going on, but that's not going to help." "Patton, do you know where you are?" I asked. He shook his head. "No, sorry, kiddo." I smiled lightly. "It's okay, Padre, we'll find you." "May I inquire why you two are yelling at such a... Patton?" The moral trait smiled brightly. "Logan!" Maybe depression was trying to taunt us, but it hardened our resolve, 'cause maybe now we're one step closer to finding Patton. Maybe. Flashback, Patton's POV. Trigger warning, blood. 10 years ago. I woke up with a sense of urgency that I couldn't place. I quietly slipped out of bed and looked down the hall. Everything looked normal. I decided to check on anxiety anyway. I knocked on his door and waited. A moment later, he opened the door. "Patton?" he said. "What are you doing up this late?" "Hey, kiddo, I couldn't sleep," I admitted. "Oh, sorry." "It's okay, kiddo. Do you want to watch a movie and eat some cookies?" I asked. He smiled lightly. Sure." Then the front door slammed open. I glanced at anxiety, then ran down to see what happened. Roman was slouched against the wall, covered in blood and half-conscious. In his arms was wrapped in his sash was a child. "Roman!" I ran to his side. "Oh my god, what happened?" He shook his head, placing the child in my arms. "Take him." I looked down at the little one. He seemed barely a year old. "Roman, I looked up at him. His eyes were closed and passed out. "Roman? Roman!" I started panicking. I didn't know what to do. Logan would know what to do." "Anxiety!" I yelled. "Hold him. I need to find Logan." Virgil's POV. Patton basically shoved the kid into my arms and ran off. "Patton, wait, I don't even..." And he's gone. I stood there awkwardly. I don't know what to do with a kid. And creativity? Or Patton called him Roman? Well, he's passed out on the floor bleeding. Then the kid started crying. "Hey, no, don't cry. It's okay," I said. She didn't stop. Shoot. Patton, a little help here." Patton's POV. I knocked on Logan's door. "Logan, please wake up. I don't know what to do. I need your help. Logan." Logan opened the door tiredly. "What is the matter, Patton?" I opened my mouth to speak, but then someone else started yelling. "Patton, a little help here." Wait, who was that? Logan asked. I gulped. Just come on. I grabbed his hand and pulled him out of where Roman and Anxiety were. The little one was crying in Anxiety's arms. She looked scared and confused and relieved all at the same time. What happened to Roman? And where did you get the child from? Logan asked. I don't know, I responded. Pat, could you take him? Anxiety's voice nearly inaudible. I nodded and took the crying kiddo, rocked him slightly to calm him. So Anxiety can talk? Logan said, patching up Roman. Yeah, I can, Anxiety spat. Now, Anxiety, play nice, I said, looking up from tickling the little one. He grumbled but stayed quiet. Soon, Logan had finished fixing up Roman. Patton, would you assist me in taking Roman to his room? Logan asked me. I nodded. Sure. Logan nodded as well, satisfactory. Anxiety, would you hold him a bit longer? I asked him sweetly using my puppy eyes. He sighed. Fine. He took the little one out of the arms. I saw him smile a little at the tiny human in his arms when I turned away. I don't think he noticed that I saw, though. I'm sorry. Yawn. Logan and I carried Roman to the room and laid him down on his bed. I carefully tucked him in, making extra sure that he was comfortable. Then we left. We were walking down the hall to see the kid's door open when Prinks walked out holding Missy's hand. Dad, Prinks rubbing his eyes with a free hand. Missy had a bad dream. I knocked on the dare level. Oh, I'm sorry, kiddo. Do you want to talk about it? Missy shook his head. Hug? I held my arms out and the boy came up and clung to me like a koala. I wrapped my arms around him and picked him up. I reached out for Prank's hand. I have someone you should meet. Okays, Prank said. I led them to the comments where Anxiety cooing at the little one. Angsy! Prank squealed, running up to the old trait. Who that? Anxiety laughed and knelt down. This is Imagination. His name is MG. How do you know that? I asked. I held up a piece of paper. Creativity left a note. I reached out to grab it, but Anxiety pulled it away. It's a little unsettling, so try not to freak out, he said. He slowly handed it to me. I opened the note and gasped. It was written in blood. I took a breath and started reading the messy scrawl. Imagination. MG. Saved from Drakenwitch. I looked back at the others. Pranks was now holding MG and Missy was sitting on them next to them with wide brown eyes. I smiled. Maybe this will be an exciting new chapter for us. Maybe. Month 5. Logan's POV. Trigger warning. More blood. You are staying here and that's final, I told the kids for the 8th time. Come on, Logan. We've gone up against depression before. Just let us at it, Frank said, throwing a few fake punches. No. You never let me have any fun. Frank flopped back on the couch. I almost flinched, remembering when Patton had said the exact phrase, but we're getting him back today. We found where he was, and we're preparing to depart to retrieve him. What we're doing is not fun. It is dangerous, I told him. Prank sighed. Yeah. Prank, stop it, Missy said, curling up next to his boyfriend. Just stay here and watch movies and cuddle with me. The older trait laughed. Okay, fine, you've convinced me. Good. Missy nuzzled into Prank's neck. Roman burst the door. I'm randy dandy and quite granty, and I'm ready to get Pat back. As am I responded. Where's Virgil? Roman sighed. He ended up hardly sleeping because he was worrying too much. So I'm letting him sleep for a little. Okay. Should we leave him here then? I asked. No, I'm up. Virgil yawned, coming to meet us. Verge, Roman warned. Fine, Princey. Virgil poked Roman's nose. I believe it's called a boop. If you two are ready, then I suggest we go, I said, starting to get a little impatient. All right, let's go, Roman said, charging out the door, dragging a smiling Virgil behind him. Wait, you don't even know, and I never told you the directions, I yelled. And they're gone. It's fine. I walked out after them, catching up quickly when I realized that they had no idea where they're going. So show us the way, Roman yelled as flamboyant as ever. I sighed. He's still in the cave somewhere. It took me a while to figure out because it was appearing to be flooding, but I am sure he's there. Fantastic, let's go, Roman snapped his fingers, and then we were in front of the cave. Everything was gray. It was cold, too, and quiet. Very quiet. No one moved. Then a soft sobbing could be heard from the inside. Then a scream. Patton! Virgil cried, rushing ahead. Virgil, wait! I yelled after him. Come on, Microsoft nerd, Roman said, running into the cave. I squealed and followed them. Inside was darker than ever. Water constantly dripped on my head and shoulders, followed by a sound of crying for a while. Virgil was frantic. Roman was trying to find something to slice with the sword, and I was trying to keep everyone together and find Patton. Eventually, I had enough of their antics. Roman, Virgil, shut up! I yelled. They both froze. Not a word was said. The only sound was dripping water from the falling ceiling. Hello? His voice echoed around the cave. I turned around. Behind me was what seemed to be a shallow lake, no more than a few inches deep, and standing in the middle of the shaky legs was Patton. I sprinted towards him, water splashing up behind me in arches, soaking my clothes, but I didn't care. We found Patton. When I reached him, I kissed him. I was crying, but he wrapped his arms around me as tightly as possible. I placed my hand on his cheek, wiping away tears. We broke apart. I stared into his eyes. Pat, I asked, are you okay? He glanced around on the ground. I'm better now that you're here. Padre! Patton! Roman and Virgil ran up and hugged Patton. They were both crying. The three of them fell to the floor, dragging me with them. Water rippled around us. Patton chuckled softly. Hey, kiddos. Our reunion was cut short when a scream tore through the air, followed by a shout. Missy! Was that pranks? Patton yelled. What are the kids doing here? I told them to stay at the Mind Palace. I stood up, as did the rest of the traits. But then a flash of blinding light knocked us back to the water. We heard a splash a few meters away, then footsteps running to the spot. Pranks collapsed to his knees to a figure curled up on the ground. Missy. I carefully got up and walked to the kids, Patton clinging closely behind me. Pranks was whispering things to Missy, who was crying. Red? Missy? Pranks? I asked cautiously. Logan? Missy said, trying to look around. Patton gasped, and the boy continued talking. Pranks, who's talking? Who's there? Why can't I see them? I knelt down next to them. Missy, it's Logan. It's all right if I touch you? Missy stammered, curling up more into Prank's arms. It's okay, Missy, Pranks cried quietly and kissed his head. The younger boy nodded. I reached out slowly and touched his cheek. He flinched, but he let me guide his face so that he would be looking at me. His eyes had been turned a misty blue-gray. Tears of blood carved paths down his cheeks. Patton started crying, reaching out to pet the child's hair. Missy? Patton whispered. Dad? Dad, are you here? Where are you? Missy said, trying to reach out. Dad, I can't see you. He's blind, I told Patton quietly. Patton's eyes went wide with large tears rolled down his cheeks. No. He's blind? Pranks asked. Is it reversible? I don't. I was cut off by a black tendril slamming to the ground next to us, causing us to cascade out of the water, washing over us. Another crash from behind us, Roman and Virgil. I almost forgot about them. The tendril slowly twitched itself up, then swung down again, catching Patton and flinging him away from the rest of us. Patton! I yelled. Logan, go! He yelled. You need to get out. No, I'm not leaving without you again. I tried to get him, but I was knocked back. I felt another hand on my shoulder. It was Virgil. Come on, dude. Patton's right. Gotta go. No, but we can't leave him here again. Virgil sighed. Roma can't fight this. Misty is hurt, and soon depression will be affecting us. But Pat, I started. Virgil turned to face me. But I have a brave face. His hands were shaking. We'll get him. But right now, we need to go. I looked back, trying to find Patton. Roman slicing through the tendrils. He had multiple cuts on his suit and face, many bleeding freely. Prince was helping Misty, slowly leading him towards us, but I couldn't find Patton. Fine, let's leave. Virgil nodded. Roman! The creative trait looked up and a starting running cut through a few more tendrils on his way. He reached out just as Pranks and Missy arrived. All right, Roman grabbed Missy and Pranks. We're leaving, Roman said. Roman nodded. Then teleported back to the Mayan palace. Maybe we weren't supposed to have him back yet. Maybe there's more to the story. Maybe. Hey guys, it's me. I'm so sorry, so very sorry, but I do not have the time or the energy to read the whole 6 chapters. I will continue reading it this weekend, or if not, I'll do a 9-chapter episode next week. With the opening night for our plays tomorrow, I just physically do not have the energy to do all this. Just please subscribe if you want to subscribe. I don't know. Do your best.